Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of paperrenee.com, and today we're going to make a really quick Christmas card. The inspiration for this came as I'm cleaning off my workspace, which is a total disaster, from making all of my altered Starbucks jars to give away to my church volunteers. So I thought, you know, this paper is so pretty, I'm just going to make a quick card. So I'm going to start out with some craft cardstock, and I cut this at 4 by 8 because I'm going to make a square card. The nice thing about making a 4-inch square card is that it will fit inside a standard size envelope. Okay, there's my card base, and it is 4 by 4. And I'm going to use some more of this paper from that Figgy Pudding Basic Gray set, which is just absolutely lovely. And I cut a piece of this green to be 4 by 4, and I'm just going to adhere it to the front of the card. Okay, have that adhered down, and now I'm going to use this piece of paper from that Basic Gray set, and it is cut at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, just so there's like that pretty green border around it. You can make that border bigger or smaller, just depending on how you want to do it. I'm going to take some of that cording that I had left over from the videos with the Starbucks jars, blah, and I'm going to attach it to the card using the cheater method, so I don't have to tie it all the way around. And just all you need is a couple of pieces of tape, and just tape it down on the back side because this is going to be hidden anyway. I like to tie, sometimes I'll go around it that way, but a lot of times it seems like it's bulkier, and I have a harder time tying a bow that looks really pretty. So there that is, kind of to the side. Straighten it out. And then let's attach this. Okay, there that is adhered down. Now, I set this aside for a second, and I'm going to make an ornament using my Cricut machine. I've got this Christmas Cheer cartridge, which is an oldie but a goodie. I got it the very first year I got my machine, probably, I don't know, 4 years ago. And I'm going to be making this ornament that is on page 109. This ornament I love and is beautiful and has driven me nuts for years because it always tears. If you have that problem, what I finally learned, and I'm sure the rest of you know this because you're not as dingy as I am, is that if you would turn the speed way down and turn the pressure down. So I always have it, my pressure set at 5 and my speed set at 5, which is the max. I put the pressure at like 3 or 4, and then I will put the speed like at 2. So it makes it go so much slower, and it seems like it works better. I cut out the blackout ornament, and I cut 2 out, one in red and one in green, and I'll show you that in a minute. I cut out the ornament itself, and then I cut out the shift, which is this top part here. This is a little bit more involved, but I just think it's really pretty. I decided that I cut 2 of the shadows, which is going to be my background, because I want to have the bow to be red, to draw some of the red in from this paper. So I'm going to just, but I want the green to show through at the bottom. So I only want this top part right here. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors and just cut this off. Okay, goodbye. And glue it on. I'm going to use my Tombow Mono multi-glue. And you could also, if you have one of those little Xyron sticker makers, they work great for little tiny pieces like this, and will hold it on really well. And we'll just put this on here like that. Okay, there it is. Now for the blue piece, which is kind of the signature piece, which I'm going to put on top there. And it really doesn't matter that all of these layers are so thick, because they're going to get, especially when they're delicate like this, it'll make it nice with it just to be a little bit thicker on your card. I'm going to glue this down. Okay, there's that layer. Now, the next layer is this top one. And I'm going to cut off the white part of this so the blue ribbon will show through. I'm just going to cut it off and glue it on. Okay, now as you can see, I glued the bottom piece on. So this is kind of a lot of layers, but I think it gives it kind of a neat effect. Okay, here's my little ornament, and it's going to go on the card right here. And now I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm going to put on a piece of this blue coordinating paper that matches that ornament. And I'm going to use some Color Box chalk ink in lipstick red. And this stamp set is from the Paper Tray Ink Mixed Messages. And I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. Lovely. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and trim that down because I want it to be the paper to be as small as possible. Okay, so there's my sentiment on there. Now here's my little ornament, and in looking at it, I decided that it needs something to make it kind of pop out from the colors of the card. So I used the shadow feature on the Cricut cartridge and cut out a base for it that would be a little bit bigger than the ornament, and that will help it stand out. So I'm just going to glue that on there. I'm going to attach this to my card using dimensionals. Put some on. Okay, I've got 3 on the ornament and 2 on the sentiment. And when I did the base, I made it out of more of that craft cardstock that I used as the base of the card. It's a nice color and it kind of ties in. I'm going to make this go all the way, maybe, all the way over to the edge. This one kind of in the middle, like that. Don't want to cover up the pretty ornaments on the paper. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of that silver ribbon and I'm going to tie a bow. And the easiest way to do that is just to run it underneath there and tie it in a knot and then tie it in a bow. Okay, there's my bow tie. I'm just going to trim off the excess. And there you have it. Quick card using all the scraps that were on my desk. Thanks for watching. I hope you all have a great week. Bye!